welcome to the Operation Smooth podcast. In today's episode, I am going to talk about the 2026 NFL draft. In particular, I'm going to talk about my favorite team, the team that I've rooted for since 1982, and that is the New York Jets. If you've been a Jets fan as long as I have, the NFL draft some years is the Super Bowl because unfortunately, in my lifetime as a Jets fan, the Jets have yet to make the Super Bowl. So I'm going to get right to it. We know about the Las Vegas Raiders. They were clearly going to pick Fernando Mendoza with the number one pick in the 2026 NFL draft. The Jets were kind of sort of tanking to get the number one pick to get Fernando Mendoza. The Jets, obviously, in all my years of being a Jets fan, have not done a lot of things right. And this tank for Fernando Mendoza, they didn't get that right either. So they end up with the second pick in the 2026 draft as opposed to the first pick. So we know Fernando Mendoza was going to Las Vegas. So the Jets, with the second pick, uh, there was a lot of talk about Arvel Reese, the linebacker slash defensive end out of Ohio State. There was talk of Ruben Bain, the edge rusher out of Miami, and obviously talk of David Bailey, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech. Ruben Bain, allegedly because of his shorter arms, as the process to this last week's draft started getting closer, he started falling in the draft room, so to speak. And as we got closer to the draft, I felt that it was going to be between Arvel Reese and David Bailey. I'm not going to come out here and lie on this podcast. I will be honest. I preferred that the Jets would have drafted Arvel Reese. Having said that, if the Jets had drafted David Bailey, I'm going to keep it honest. I was not going to be upset in any way, shape, or form. I would have understood either or. The Jets are going to be switching to a 3-4 defense, maybe a hybrid defense, but they're going to get away from the 4-3. And so in the 4-3, obviously, you need two edge rushers. You've already got Will McDonald. Hopefully, he'll have a better season. And hopefully, David Bailey, who the Jets ultimately selected with the second pick, will make an immediate impact. He's 6'3", 251, possessed 4.5 speed in the 40-yard dash. Uh, I've seen a lot of highlights of him. I mean, David Bailey looks like he's that dude. Very impressive. I think he had 14 sacks this past season for Texas Tech as the number two pick in the draft. Let's keep it honest. He's made the team, so he will be on the Jets' opening day roster. And let's hope between him and between Will McDonald, who's probably going to be on the other side of the D line, and whether it's Tavondre Sweat, whether it's Harrison Phillips, whether it's the young Jawan guy that the Jets got from Cleveland this past season. Who the young man Jawan? I forget what his name is. His last name is. I think he, out of all the acquisitions that Darren Muji made this year, Jawan Briggs, I think was the best pickup that Darren Muji made in the 2025 season. So, uh, hey, I wish David Bailey nothing but luck. Again, I slightly preferred Arvel Reese, but up until the moment that Bailey got drafted, there was a part of me, my heart was saying, my mind said Arvel Reese, but my heart said that the Jets would pick David Bailey, and that is what happened. So you fast forward, the Jets had also the 16th pick in the first round. That pick is the second pick in the first round as a result of the Sauce Gardner trade last season. Uh, as I'm watching the draft, I saw uh, maybe I'm hoping maybe Sonny Styles falls to 16, even though that was realistic. He went at number 7. I was kind of hoping that Caleb Downs would fall to number 16. That did not happen. The Dallas Cowboys moved up a spot and they drafted Caleb Downs. Ruben Baines kept falling and falling in the draft. And I'm like, man, okay, what if the Jets can draft David Bailey and Ruben Bain? That'd be incredible. You've basically got the new New York Sack Exchange 2030, basically. But with the 15th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted Ruben Bain. And so we all know that the Jets have needed help at wide receiver. Uh, Garrett Wilson did not have the best season. Obviously, it was due to injury. Everybody and their mother was talking about Makai Lemon, Makai Lemon, Makai Lemon. I've seen the highlights. Makai Lemon seemed like the obvious choice, the clear choice. But Darren Muji pulled off a surprise that I don't think any Jets fan expected. With the 16th pick, the New York Jets selected Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon, 6'3", 241 pounds, basically kind of like a DK Metcalf in terms of size. He had he ran a 440 in the 40-yard dash, 43 and a half inch vertical, versatile as a pass catcher. See that he's a tight end that can run the deep route as well. He's being compared to Vernon Davis. If Kenyon City can become a Vernon Davis type of tight end, bro, I'm happy with that. But I will admit, I didn't know a lot about Kenyon Sadiq. Still don't know that much. Everything that you heard about Oregon was coming into this season, this 2025 season. Dante Moore, Dante Moore, Dante Moore, Dante Moore. Ultimately, Dante Moore ended up staying at Oregon. If he had come out, I think the Jets would have taken him as the number 2 pick as opposed to Bailey. But Dante Moore elected to stay at Oregon. So the Jets drafted one of his teammates, Kenyon Sadiq. I'm going to be honest. When the Jets drafted Kenyon Sadiq, I'll keep it real. I was all kinds of confused because I'm looking at Roger Goodell and he's about to say Makai Lemon, and he says Kenyon Sadiq, and I'm just like Kenyon Sadiq, and my mind is going like what are they doing? What are they thinking? Well, this doesn't make it. This draft pick doesn't make any sense. You've already got Mason Taylor. You've already got Rucker. So why do you need another tight end? This just doesn't add up, and it's not adding up, and it's not adding up. And then the Jets had the 33rd pick in the draft, which is I think the second pick in the second round. But hey, Darren Muji, a master stroke. I guess he knows what he's doing more than any of us as fans. Right before the end of the first round, Darren Muji makes a trade with the San Francisco 49ers. So the Jets and the 49ers swap picks. The Jets move up to the 30th pick in the draft. So basically, it's a third first round pick this year. The 49ers move back to 33. And with that 33rd pick, speaking of Fernando Mendoza, we didn't get him, but we did get his favorite receiver at Indiana, Omar Cooper Jr., 6 feet, 199 pounds. Basically, he lines up in the slot, but he can be like a flexed out wide receiver, so to speak. He caught the game winning pass against Penn State, which catapulted Indiana to eventually getting into the playoff and eventually winning the national championship. So Omar Cooper Jr. made a lot of big plays for Indiana this season en route to Indiana winning its first ever national championship in football. So you have a young man that has played in the big games and has excelled in the big games. So I got to give props to Darren Muji. So the Jets in 2026, 3 first round picks. Then next year in 2027, 3 more first round picks. So I got to give Darren Muji props to that. Then in the let's see in the second round with the 18th pick, the Jets swapped with the Detroit Lions, and The running joke is that D'Angelo Pons, another member of the national championship Indiana Hoosier team, the Jets take D'Angelo Pons in the second round. It was what the let's see, 18th pick in the second round. D'Angelo Pons, 5'8", 182 pounds. If you look at the highlights, a lot of the comparisons are to our current New York Jets coach, Aaron Glenn. You can say what you want about Aaron Glenn as a head coach. Obviously, it has not been great up until this point. But for those of us old heads that saw Aaron Glenn play as a player, Aaron Glenn, even though he was undersized, he was feisty, he was unafraid, he played with energy. He played with intensity. He was always up in the other team's best receiver space. And this is what D'Angelo Pons offers. And I really think that this is going to be a good pick. I'm not going to say that he's going to take over the starting cornerback slot over Brandon Stevens or under Nashawn Wright, who the Jets got from the Chicago Bears. But as a slot corner, I think D'Angelo Pons is going to be really good. I think also another young man who played in the big games for Indiana. So he won't be afraid of the bright lights of New York City, as neither will Omar Cooper Jr. So I absolutely love this D'Angelo Pons pick. And if he's anything like what Aaron Glenn was as a player, we've got somebody that's going to be around for years to come. Fast forward to the fourth round, the Jets select Daryl Jackson, another defensive tackle out of Florida State. I think Daryl Jackson is going to be just a depth piece. I don't expect him to start at a defensive tackle, but you never know. So, uh, ain't nothing wrong with some depth at the defensive line. And as I've always said, you win games in the trenches. So, best of luck to Daryl Jackson Jr. Hope he makes the team and hope he can make an impact. And then a very interesting fourth round pick. The Jets made a trade with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they moved up, what, two slots. This was an interesting one here. I'm I'm kind of mad on this pick, but I'm not gonna completely trash this pick. Uh, the Jets, with the 10th pick in the fourth round, they select Clay Klubnik, quarterback out of Clemson. He had a very good career as a four-year starter at Clemson. I believe he replaced Trevor Lawrence, if I'm not mistaken. Pure pocket passer, good touch, timing, and accuracy. Had a really, really rough last season. He seems like somebody who's in complete control of the offense, consistent mechanics, relaxed throwing motion, but also appears to be indecisive sometimes, struggling with pre-snap reads. Um, we'll see. So he will probably sit for a year behind Geno Smith, but who knows? I know somebody I'm very close to, very high on Kate Klubnik, and basically told me that this is going to be a steal. Who knows? Let's hope so. Maybe Kate Klubnik could be that guy. I mean, he can't be any worse than Brady Cook. I'll say that. I think Clay will be better than Brady Cook. So he'll be playing behind Geno. We all know what next year's draft is all about. It's all about Arch Manning. We can sit here and try to hide it, but that's what the Jets are going to try to do in next year's draft. But let's continue. Let's go to let's see, in the sixth round, the seventh pick in the sixth round, the Jets draft Ines Cooper, 6'6", 334-pound offensive guard out of Miami. With the departures of Elijah Vera Tucker and of John Simpson, the Jets do have a glaring hole at left guard. I don't think the Jets did anything in free agency. So this could be an opportunity for Ines Cooper to come in and perhaps win the starting job. He's a strong wide body. He can have trouble sustaining his blocks from what I'm reading here, but That position right now in the offensive line, I would say that that's the one slot in the offensive line that's not solidified. The other members of the offensive line are solidified. You've got Olaf Ashanu at left tackle. You've got the Ryan guy from Green Bay. He's going to be the center. And then you've got Joel Tippmann at the right guard. And then you've got, what's his name? The young man from Missouri that we drafted last season. Oh my goodness. I'm over here. I'm over here doing this, and I completely forgot. And I've got his name like right on the tip of my tongue, and can't I can't remember. I can't believe I forgot about a player from my own favorite team. Holy cow! He was the number 7 pick in the draft. Oh my goodness, what is wrong? What's wrong here? Armand Membu. So yeah, we got Armand Membu. Sorry about that. Getting amnesia out here. And then of course Josh Myers. The Jets did sign Dylan Parham from Las Vegas, but not. I'm not too high on Dylan Parham. So, even though he's a 6th round pick, hey, I'm willing to give Ines Cooper a chance. And then last but not least, in the 7th round, with the 12th pick in the 7th round, the Jets draft VJ Payne, safety out of Kansas State, as a 7th round pick. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not really expecting anything from VJ Payne. But I will say this: the Jets really hit in this 2026 draft with the first 4 picks. David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq. I've seen some of his highlights. I understand now. I understand the logic of them taking Kenyon Sadiq and then drafting Omar Cooper Jr. So on the offense, you're gonna have Garrett Wilson on one side. Let's not forget about Adonai Mitchell, who the Jets got in the Sauce Gardner trade. Then you got Kenyon Sadiq, the draft pick from the Sauce Gardner trade, and then you add that to Omar Cooper Jr. So you've got some aerial threats there and some vertical threats to go with Garrett Wilson. Take some of the pressure off of him, and if the offensive line can sustain itself, Geno Smith has got some weapons in the passing game, weapons that, let's be honest, Justin Fields did not have last season, and hopefully with another year of experience on the offensive line with Olaf Ashano and Armand Membu and Titman and Ryan, and then hopefully Dylan Parham works out, or maybe Honest Cooper can take over. That young offensive line for the Jets can continue to improve, and it's already a very good offensive line, probably a top 10 offensive line in the league. So the offense should drastically improve in the 2026 season for the Jets. So those are my thoughts on the 2026 NFL draft for the New York Jets. I'll say this: Darren Muji did cook. With the lower draft picks, I mean, let's keep it real. A lot of them are, they tend to be either special teams guys or guys that don't make the team. You do have some exceptions. Bilal Powell, for those of you that remember, I want to say it was in 2011, the 2011 or the 2012 NFL draft. Bilal Powell was a 5th round draft pick out of running back out of Louisville. And Bilal Powell had a very productive 10, 11 year career with the New York Jets. So it's not that a 5th round pick is going to be a complete bust, but those lower picks, for the most part, they tend not to have long NFL careers. But I will say this: the top half of this year's draft, absolutely fantastic work by Darren Muji. And so now Aaron Glenn, the pressure's on Aaron Glenn, but I'll do another video on that. But I definitely expect at least 7 wins based on the draft picks and based on the retooling of the defense. I'm expecting at least 7 wins in 2026. But again, I'm going to do another video on Aaron Glenn and how I think the pressure is on him now more than last year. So this is it for my analysis of the 2026 NFL Draft. Like, comment, subscribe. This has been the Operation Smooth podcast, and I am out.